So, I fucked up several times, guys, and I am so sorry about that, but I've been having so many issues when it came to YouTube and streaming on it. I had so much shit planned up. I had 2 YouTube streams planned up. Got denied the first time. It made me wait 24 hours for access. Then the second time, it didn't give me my 24 hours. It wasn't the full 24 until it ended. Aw, I got cooked. So I just wanted to come on and chat with you guys for a bit and do one of like my weird... I know this is like a weird way to do a commentary video and talk to you guys on YouTube. Oh, hang on real quick too. Let me turn that up real quick and that should be a lot better for you guys too. I forgot to turn my microphone gain up. It's my bad. Doink. Ah, shit. I was cooked there anyways. I just wanted to come and say I'm sorry. I had 2 YouTube streams planned for you guys. And I fucked that up completely because I forgot how YouTube operates compared to my old channel. You know, I'm used to kind of just having everything already set up like normal. And, I don't. I didn't have anything for this channel set up. And going into it, I was really unprepared because I'm still used to old YouTube. And once I got my account, you know, up and running, it was like I didn't really think about it that much. And that was my bad. Going forward, I have live streams planned, and I'm gonna do all my Call of Duty live streams here instead of on Scenario 5. So if you didn't want to go follow a whole other social media platform just to watch me live stream, I've got good news for you. You don't have to worry. I'm very excited for that fun little detail. It'll make streaming a lot better of a process for me, and doing content here a lot better of a process. If you're interested in more of a variety of content, please do check out Scenario 5. That is where the whole shebang is gonna be. I wanted to give a quick shout out to King real quick. King, you know who you are. King pops into my chat as just someone who found my first video, you know, when I talked about, you know, the loss of my father, and I told my father's story with cancer. You know, and I love my dad very much. I wouldn't be doing this channel if I didn't love him so much and try to have a, you know, a mission to keep his memory alive. That wouldn't be happening. You know, I love him so much, and I miss him every day. I don't know how many of you guys noticed it, but in the first video too, I started breaking down a bit, and it was a lot for me because I was reliving it, and you know, still part of me hasn't left the hospital. You know, part of me has still been there May 10th of 2023 in that hospital room. It's been just a really terrible and tough several years, and I want to give a shout out to King for coming into chat, finding me out of the blue, and popping in and telling me his story, and you know, giving me his support. And King, if you've seen this, then you know there's a chance that we're just either you subscribed and you're following me and we're watching videos of each other now because I went on and watched some of your content, and I think you're a funny creator as well. I liked your content. I want to come check you out on Twitch and catch a live stream sometime. But if you see my videos again, pop in. You know, let's play Call of Duty together. Let's actually do something together and have some fun. I loved your story. Thank you for sharing it. And I also want to kind of encourage that, you know, people who come along and can relate, follow along. You know, let's hop into voice chats together and let's share stories. Like, I think that would be like the most unique thing about this community is the fact that we all went through stuff together, and I'm here being open and exposing myself like this in a way, and it kind of leaves a good opportunity for other people to connect. You know, whether or not we went through a similar situation, you as a chat member could you know, actively chat with people who may have gone through something similar and, you know, be able to connect with people and make new friends, or even build a connection with me one day. So King, if you're there and you're seeing this, let's do some COD together at some point. Like, let's play together. I think that would be so much fun. And, you know, hit me up. I'll try to find you as much as I can if you're open to that, and I would love to play some Call of Duty with you at some point. And that invitation I would like to extend even further beyond. If you're someone who has a similar story and you want to share it and maybe play some COD one day, pop on in, let's play some COD. I would love that. In the meantime, too, I wanted to talk a little bit more about my dad. I love the hobbies that he had, and in a part of that, I kind of took on some of his hobbies too. One of my dad's biggest things was wood carving, and as we get closer to Christmas time, I would like to share with you guys some of his projects. So if you're coming on and you're interested in that, subscribe, follow. I'll be active here as much as I can. I'll be doing Call of Duty streams on here as much as I can. I'll be recording videos for you guys. I'll be doing a lot of things for you. And it should be a really fun and interesting time, and I would love to get to know you guys more too. So please, if you're popping in, there's a reason you're here. Follow, communicate, let's chat, let's talk, and let's have meaningful conversations. And I think that's the thing that would make this community great too, is that it's kind of a good outreach for us. You know, why be stuck in like a really bad confinement? You know, let's talk about our hobbies. Do you guys too have a loved one that passed away that has similar hobbies to like what I'm going to talk about? Like, let's connect. Like, let's talk about those experiences together, and let's share some good memories. Going forward with this, some of my dad's like hobbies, and I love my dad. Like, I definitely, like, in some of the stuff I do, resemble him. Some of my dad's hobbies were like hiking. Oh my god, this dude was very adventurous, especially for a smoker. When I was a baby, I was like maybe I was a year old at this point in time. My dad and mom had this little like baby carry bag for me, and they would put me in it and take me hiking with them, and I had like a little pair of hikers, so whenever I was like really tired, that's what they put me in. And it was so much fun. At least like the stories they tell me, it was kind of funny. What's like really funny too is the fact that my dad being like a heavy smoker and him carrying me, where they were hiking, there was like this really like tight ledge, and they pretty much had to like walk ass to the wall pretty much. And my dad's carrying me, and he's freaking out because it's like I'm a baby, and he's fucking winded because he's a crazy smoker. So he's worrying about me while trying to walk across this ledge safely. And I love hearing that story. It's always a fun one to me, but the other fun one to me is when I was like 2 at the time, and we were the hike pretty much my parents found this bear, and it was really funny because my dad wanted to take pictures of it. So we're walking backwards back the other way down the trail, and my dad is just, while walking backwards, taking pictures of this bear while my mom is holding me back so I'm not walking up to this bear essentially and getting myself killed. While at the same time I'm going, but I want to be up there with dad. I want to go be up there with dad. And mom was like, no, you don't. It was funny though, because we walked, once dad got all the pictures he wanted to take, and I mean the bear just slowly walked towards us. Once dad got all the pictures he wanted to take, you know, we turned around and walked normally down the trail, got some distance from the bear, and there was this other young couple that was walking by, and my dad goes, hey, there's a bear up there, you may not want to go that way. And they're like, we'll be fine, you know, it's probably gone by now. So they keep going, and my dad's like, it's your loss. They turned around right away and started walking back the other direction. So that was funny. That was like a I told you so moment. Boink. Oh, fuck. How am I still alive right now? But that was a funny moment. The other thing too that I mentioned was my dad was a wood carver. So during Christmas time, I'm going to share a bunch of his carvings. I'm gonna post those to the YouTube platform because I'm not gonna do like outside social media for Old Sniper. I'm sticking Old Sniper to strictly be YouTube. Mostly because I have social media outside of here for actual content creation, and this channel is meant to be more of like a personal thing. Like when I'm coming here, I'm not like trying to be your friendly neighborhood scenario 5. I'm trying to be Xander, my dad's son, and I'm trying to be me and more front and personal and open. I'm very also open to when it comes to streaming as Zanari and social media wise, but I don't know, it's gonna be a lot more like personal here, I guess, like more storytelling, and also because this channel's dedicated to my dad's memory. But yeah, going with that, back to the topic at hand, I will be posting videos, or not videos, pictures of Christmas ornaments my dad made, as well as some other miscellaneous stuff during December. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, let me know. Stick around and follow, you know, and witness it. Like, you know, if especially too if you're like a wood carver, if you get some like really cool ideas and maybe you didn't realize, like, ah, shit, Christmas ornaments would be a really fucking cool idea. My dad only had the idea because he wanted to make Christmas gifts more personal to the family, so he started carving Christmas themed wood carvings, and he put a shepherd's hook on them and turned them into ornaments. So, you know, that was such dedication on my dad's part. There are some years that he had like a bad writer's block and didn't know what to do, but he always made some sort of ornament for the family. His last one was really funny. The last Christmas he was alive, Christmas of 2022, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 2022. He did Charlie Brown sweaters, but he did a bunch of different styles. So they weren't just like Charlie Brown, but they were all like ugly Christmas sweaters. But he had a few Charlie Brown ones in there. And he did Christmas pickles as well, and left the family to a choice. Now, the only unfortunate thing is my mom never actually got a Christmas pickle. The family took all of the fucking Christmas pickles. So, that was like the most popular ornament of that year. So my mom has a bunch of sweaters, but no pickles. And I feel so bad for her for that. Dad said he was going to make one for her. And, you know, cancer doesn't stop. You can kill it, but while it's still alive, you know, it's still alive and it don't stop. And it's a pain in the ass. And fuck. Ooh, no way. So yeah, I've got a bunch of shit that I want to share with you guys related to Christmas stuff. The other big thing my dad did, fuck, I don't really, well, besides video gaming, like, me and my dad loved Call of Duty. That was my first video game. I guess I'll talk about that one next. But me and my dad loved playing Call of Duty games with each other. That was like our big thing. We are big gamers. I shared a bit about that one beforehand too, that me and my dad were gamers. He was the reason I got into Call of Duty and kind of sparked a whole different attitude of gaming. I fucking love playing these games and shit. Like, it's so much fun. And I've been having so much fun with Black Ops 6. I think Dad would have loved it. And I'm really excited to play the campaign too. I'll be doing a live stream on that. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the live stream here or on Twitch. I want to do it here. What I might do is live stream Black Ops 6 here and then live stream a different campaign over at Twitch to kind of even it up. because I'll probably be playing more than the campaign during a stream. So I'll also try to make sure, like, when I'm streaming, I can record it so I can break it down, like, all the levels down. So I'll have, like, a playlist of all the campaign missions for this game specifically. And I would like to backtrack Call of Duty games too and play some ones that I played with Dad at some point and play the levels for. I can get my capture card to work properly. I'd love to, like, go on the PlayStation 4 and play Ghosts with you guys and do a whole playthrough on Call of Duty Ghosts and play the campaign. And if the multiplayer servers are still up, I'd love to see if people are still on and log on to the servers with my cousin Dexter, who streams as well, and do all this other fun shit. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to do with you guys and continue on, and I think that'll be fun. I remember when Call of Duty Ghosts came out, and that was like one of my favorite actual campaign missions to play with Dad. My first one, and it's one that I definitely fully plan on hitting up, was Call of Duty 3. That game was so much fun. That level, those levels, the detail of it, it's Call of Duty 3 is such a good Call of Duty game, and it's the older ones just hit different, in my opinion. They always had a different story. The voice actors always felt more. Ooh, I got red carpet. Get featured. Oh, I got best play, guys. Let's watch it real quick. Sorry to put a hold on the story, but let's watch this. Oh, that makes sense. I love that it was this play that got it, and not like any of my other good plays. He cooked me there, but that's okay. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. I would love to come on and play Call of Duty 3 with you guys too. That was like my first Call of Duty game ever actually playing and beating. So that would be so much fun for me to bring to you guys and kind of relive that. Go back to those old memories with Dad. In the meantime, I don't really know if this final one counts as like a hobby, because he did this as his job, but my dad was a hell of a mechanic. My dad, I guess a little bit of backstory, both my parents were divorced before they met each other, and my dad had a kid at 18, and, you know, he pretty much picked up a set of tools and got to learning pretty much, and he learned how to fix cars, and he got so good at it that a Ford dealership hired him on, and he became a prep man. And fucking, you know, for like 30 years that was his position, was new car prep, and he did all like the assembly stuff, so programming auto starts and shit like that, or programming key fobs, bed liners, tonneau covers, all that fun shit that's like more on like the aftermarket side, or stuff that doesn't come from the facility. He'd have to put on these stupid fucking lights, like these light up logos on F-150s. Those are so shitty. I've seen so many people do these, and they're just shit. That dealership took such good care of my dad. Like, they didn't have to take as good care of him as they did, but they really did. And I do feel bad for that family. They're going through a little bit of a medical situation outside of everything. And I pray for them a lot. Like I said, I'm a very faithful person to my religion, and so is my dad. And I do want to talk about that at some point. So if you're interested in that too, you know, you're a religious person, you want to listen to me play Call of Duty and talk about religion, stick around for that, because I think that would be so funny, and I think that would like also to just be such a good way to honor my dad and everything he stood for. And I could talk about some of my dad's point of views on what he believed, and also touch on some stuff that I believe in and all that, because I think that would be so much fun. And oh, I'm so good at this game. And, you know, just be part of that, you know. I have been wanting to do that too anyways, where I wanted to talk about God and talk about like my trust with God, and honestly that's something that's been helping me get through it a little bit, is putting some faith in God and letting go of the fear. And I strongly believe that my dad is with me at every choice that I make, every step that I take. I believe he's helping, guiding me, and I don't want to let his memory die. I really want to immortalize him in some way, shape, or form. I want the world to know who my dad was and how great of a man my dad was, because I fucked up. I fucked up hard in life. I royally did. And I want to make him proud. I want him to know, out of all the times I fucked up, that I miss him and that I love him. And that's part of too why I wanted to come by and talk about his hobbies, because, you know, part of that, like, other people will probably be able to relate to that. You know, maybe there's a father who stumbles upon my video and was like, man, I remember showing my kid his first COD game, and now here's me going on 20 talking about playing Call of Duty 3 on my Wii. Literally, that was the game I played it on, and I know it was out before the Wii, because I played it, my dad had it on the PlayStation 2, but I fucking played that game on the Wii, on the Nintendo Wii. That was the system I played my first ever Call of Duty game on. How crazy is that? I guess another thing I should say is just a quick message to my dad specifically, because I'm positive he's listening. Dad, I am so sorry for fucking up so much. I am so sorry for being a pain in your ass, and I am so sorry for blaming you for shit that I shouldn't have. Too, I was just a fucking naive kid, and that's no excuse. And there's so much stuff that I regret, and there's so much times that I regret because I miss not doing with you. I regret taking so much time not coming to visit you for dinner and at work, you know, during your late nights, because I hated that fucking dealership. I always felt like they were stealing you away from me, but you were working your ass off to give me a good life and to set me up for a good life. And I also want to say that I'm sorry college isn't going well for me, but I was not ready to start college mentally. It is fucking me over. Like, I just can't get my shit straight, and I can't get my brain to think straight. I'm fucking myself over, essentially, and I'm making college, one, a harder experience for me, but also harder for me to succeed. And I'm sorry that I can't just be that ready yet for it, you know. You worked so hard and prepared for me to go to college, so I'm sorry that that's kind of failing right now. And I fully don't intend it to. I want to go to college and I want to finish off my education, but it is just a struggle with me right now in my freshman year. And it's also probably because I'm waiting to wake up, you know. And I know I'm not going to, but I want you to know that I'm really sorry for really misusing the time that we had together and seeing situations so differently, because you truly were working your ass off harder than I could have ever seen and harder than I could have ever known for this family, and I couldn't be grateful enough for that. I'm getting my shit figured out, Dad, so I can keep making you proud. I miss you like crazy, and I am so sorry. With that, I wish that this channel could have been with my dad. Back to you guys, and getting past my apology that I just made to my father. I wish I could have done this with my dad and did some like light content creation. I kind of did. If anyone's interested in that, I'll have to do like a little reshare of some of his content. But I used to participate in these robotic competitions with my Boy Scout troop, and my dad was actually considered like coach of the team. And me and my dad spent countless nights helping us fix code and shit like that, pulling up late nights, because I mean essentially with cancer is all I could do. He wasn't really going to work, so he spent countless hours while I was at school or while I was at work helping make this robot run. And I kind of was like the code part where I could do like a really scrappy code and make it run, and then he knew how to fucking organize my shitty code so it would run better and run smoother and not be as long of a strain. So he knew how to take my shit and organize it, and we kind of worked off of that. Like I built a movement for the claw and shit like that. And I also remember too, like going through RoboFest, like what the biggest pain in the ass was for me was I went through one of the events with my code bugged. I don't know what the fuck happened, but like the code got corrupted or some shit, and it started telling me ports weren't correct. So I had to like completely go through and like figure out what the fuck was going on, adjust everything in the port system, and recode my robot that was already pre-built to try to fix everything that was wrong with it. And I got it to run, and I actually got it to run really far, and I almost finished off every single task except for the fact that I knocked down. So we were doing a toilet paper stack essentially, so we were taking our robot to stack toilet paper because it was COVID, so they were like, why not? What does everyone have right now? Toilet paper. Or what does everyone wish they have? Fucking toilet paper. So we're stacking these rolls of toilet paper, and I got all of them to stack up in a row in the box. It was like the first time that we got it to stack in the box successfully. Minor adjustments, right? And it, you know, it should only go up from there, except for the fact that you know, the code was corrupted. What ended up happening was the claw couldn't get high enough to get away from the toilet paper, so it barely hooked the tower, tumbled down most of the toilet paper. So I got points for moving them, but I did not get the full amount of points for all of them being stacked in a row in a tower. But I did get also the end goal, which was some good bonus points. It was actually because of that situation too, though, that I wasn't qualified, but the judges of the robotics competition were looking at that, knew the situation, and was like, genuinely, he has the skills to be considered an actual candidate to move on and to proceed forward. So they gave us the green light to go forward, but my dad's cancer just got to the point where we couldn't do it. I guess that also counts as like a hobby that we did, was robotics. But it got to a point where his body couldn't handle it anymore. And I was like, I want to keep doing it, but I just don't think it's possible because I don't want to do it without my dad. And they were very understanding of that. And technically, we weren't in the qualifiers anyways, so it didn't really matter. They were just going to let us slide through because they knew that we were skilled enough, that we knew what we were doing enough to keep moving on and keep going up through it. I mean, when you think about it, that's cool that they recognize that and were willing to let us slide. But at the end of the day, I was mostly worried about Dad, and I was like, the last thing that, you know, I can't even drive yet. The last thing that my parents need to worry about is Dad's chemo treatments with my robotics stuff, and it just wouldn't be the same. And I remember I did one more robotics competition, and a lot of people might be surprised with this, but I am done with the robotics competitions. Every year that we've done a robotics competition, something has gone wrong with my code. The first year, my code didn't want to run properly and the robot couldn't follow a line, but people in my troop that had the exact same code that were doing this event for a merit badge, their program worked just fine. Doesn't make sense, but it was just our robot that didn't want to do it. It could have been a faulty sensor. I'm not 100% sure. But it was a pain in the ass. The second year was my code corrupting. And, you know, that was great and all. I made it work. But the third year, something similar happened. This year, my dad passed away. And one, doing the robotic stuff just wasn't the same without my dad. You know, I built a robot how I wanted it to be built and all that. And realized that I couldn't have a pre-assembled robot. I had to build it from scratch, but I could use the ports and all that the same and build like a practice code. So I built a really fucking cool robot. I'll have to share a picture of that one that I built using a Vex IQ kit. And essentially I had to take it all apart and do all this other fun jazz. But when it came to doing the event, the ports weren't lining up right for whatever reason, and it was telling me that all my ports were wrong. And I was getting really pissed off with that because it's like all my ports are the same. Like I checked everything to a T and everything was the same. So it just, he didn't want to connect properly. And I was like, after this, I was like, yeah, I can't keep doing it as much as I want to, and as much as I love it, I can't. And that's kind of like the story with that. You know, that was my first, second and last robotics ever. And it was fun, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I had a good time with it, and it is something that I want to, you know, keep doing. And, you know, as a hobby, but I don't want to participate in any more competitions. It's never gone my way. I don't think it'll ever go my way, and I think that's the universe telling me something. But I will also show you guys some of those videos of, like, my dad's last moments in, like, his healthy stage. Let me know what you guys think. You know, if you guys, like, were able to relate to that in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to call it here, guys. I love you guys. Thanks for dealing with me for 30 minutes. If you found your way here, leave a follow, talk to me, leave a comment. If you're interested in playing COD and sharing stories and, you know, maybe you want to try content creation too, but just not 100% sure how to do it, maybe we could hop into a call and just play some Call of Duty together before we give it a shot. And if you want to record videos together too and all that, I would love that. King, like I said, if you find me, hit me up. I would love to play Call of Duty with you at some point. I would love to hop on Black Ops 6 and play some zombies or play some multiplayer, introduce you to my crew. I loved your story so much, and I felt touched with that and connected, and thank you so much for feeling comfortable within the spot to share it. And to those of you who are finding this community and kind of finding this new safe haven, come talk to me and let's be friends and let's grow and let's show the world that it's okay to be open and find new connections through that and talk about it with people while enjoying simple things. Like I said, I want to do some religious stuff, and I want to talk openly about my religion. Stuff like that will probably just be done me and another person. I'm planning on doing some live streams with Daniel. I would love to record some videos with Daniel too. That would be so much fun. So we'll see how all of it goes and just kind of the full set of everything. It should be very interesting. Thank you guys so much for joining and dealing with me for 30 minutes and for spending 30 minutes of your time with me. I know that's a lot, and just listening to me ramble about my dad's hobbies and just bullshit in my apology rant, but it means a lot that you guys are coming and that people have been making connections, and I want you to know you're heard, and I will always be here to listen. I will be reading comments whenever I get the chance to, and I want to know what you guys have to share. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. Hopefully live stream tomorrow, today technically, because it's 1:15 in the morning, but we'll see how everything goes. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being such a strong part of the channel, and thank you for people who notice me and just come in out of pure boredom and chance and give me a shot. It means a lot. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have an amazing day, amazing night, wherever you are at. And I will see you guys in the next video, in the next live stream, or I will see you over at Scenario 5, twitch.tv/Scenario5. That would mean a lot to me. I love you guys. See ya.